with me, ma'ana, with us, ma'aha, with her. These grammar sessions are not more than 6-7 minutes, so try to practice, and practice is very important. Next 4 prepositions were bi, fi, ala and ila. Bi means in. Example is Bismillah. So bihi, translate, bihi, in him, bihim, in them, bika, in you, bikum, in you all, bi, in me, bina, in us, biha, in her. Now read with me and try to talk as if we are talking to Arabs. Talk in Arabic. Bihi, bihim, bika, bikum, bi, bina, biha. Next word was fi, meaning in. Example, fi sabilillah, in the path of Allah. So translate, fihi, in him, fihim, in them, fika, in you, fikum, in you all, fiya, in me, fina, in us, fiha, in her. Now repeat with me with signs and try to talk to Arabs and orient your brain like that. Fihi, fihim, fika, fikum, fiya, fina, fiha. Third one was ala. Ala means on. Example, assalamu alaikum. Alayhi, translate, on him. Alayhim, on them. Alayka, on you. Alaykum, on you all. Alayya, on me. Alayna, on us. Alayha, on her. Now read with me. Alayhi, alayhim, alayka, alaykum, alayya, alayna, alayha. And lastly it was ila, means to or toward. Example, inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. So translate, ilayhi, to him, ilayhim, to them, ilayka, to you, ilaykum, to you all, ilayya, to me, ilayna, to us, ilayha, to her. Now repeat with me, talk to Arabs. Ilayhi, ilayhim, ilayka, ilaykum, ilayya, ilayna, ilayha. Note that in the first 4 prepositions, whom comes, like lahu, lahum, minhu, minhum, anhu, anhum, ma'ahu, ma'ahum. In the next 4 prepositions, he, him comes, bihi, bihim, fihi, fihim, alayhi, alayhim, ilayhi, ilayhim. The rest are same, like ka, kumina are all same. Why it is bihi and not bihu? Because it is easier to say bihi than bihu, and that's why Arabs did it like that. Now in prepositions, today we will learn 4 important points. Point number 1. Each language has its own preposition when it comes with a verb or verbal noun. For example, we say amantu billah. In English it will be I believed in Allah, but in Urdu, for example, it says my Allah par iman laya. It doesn't mean that the meaning of in is per or on. In Urdu it is on, in English it is in, and in Arabic it is bi. Each language has its own preposition when it comes with a verb. So if you see that a preposition is translated differently, just look at the action that is being described, and in your language the preposition for that action will be used when you translate. For example, when you say amantu billah, it is matching here, but in Urdu, for example, it doesn't match. But when you talk of belief, we say in Urdu per, which is on. Second point is, sometimes you need preposition in Arabic, but you don't need in another one. For example, يَدْخُلُونَ فِي دِينِ اللَّهِ. We have already studied this in Surah An-Nasr. Entering the religion of Allah. When you say enter, you don't say in. Entering in, you don't say that. يَدْخُلُونَ فِي دِينِ اللَّهِ, entering the religion of Allah. Similarly, اغفر لي, forgive. Li is for me, but in English you don't say forgive for me, you just say forgive me. So fi and li in these examples are there in Arabic, but in English you don't need them. Third point is, sometimes you don't have preposition in Arabic, but it is necessary in another language. For example, warhamni, wa and irham, have mercy, ni, me. But in English you have to add on and have mercy on me. Similarly, there are the examples. Qini adabak, save me, adabaka, your punishment. You have to add from, save me from your punishment. And lastly, when you change a preposition, the meanings also change. Like in English, we have get in, get out, get off, get on, get at. Same thing is true in Arabic. Also, when you add a preposition to a verb, the meaning changes. For example, get a book, get in the room. So you add it in and the meaning changes. And the example in Arabic is salli. Salli means pray. And salli ala Muhammad means send peace on Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Coming to learning tip. When I give lectures, in different new places, I will ask them, how will you remember me? Suppose if I am in a new city, I will say, even though I have my own office, my own house, and I go to a masjid, but those people who are looking at me in that meeting, they will always refer to, whenever they will see me, after 5 months, 6 months, after a month, they will remember the first meeting. I will give you a very important tip about remembering. When I lecture at a new place, I tell them like this: how will you remember me? If you see me after 1 month in some other place, as soon as you see me, your brain will say, oh, I have seen this person somewhere. And even though it may be some other time in some other place, your brain will bring this picture of this session in which I am lecturing and will say, oh yeah, this is the teacher of Arabic. I tell them that you may have seen me earlier, but today is a conscious meeting between us, and this meeting has defined my reference. This meeting has helped you remember me, much better. Similarly, how will you remember the meaning of a new word? With reference to an example in which you have understood the word. You may have read that before, but without understanding. For example, we said in. In means if. If you remember the example, inshallah, then it is much easier to remember the meanings. This is a very important secret. Every example given in this course for the 100 words is simple, familiar, spiritual or emotional, and repeatedly used, because you use them in your daily prayers. So we learn the meanings of new words by remembering their examples so that they can easily be recalled, easily be memorized. If you forget me and if someone is with you and you say, oh, who is this person? Then he will remind you of the first meeting. Oh, he is the one who was lecturing Arabic. Similarly, if you forget the meaning of a word, all you have to do is just remember the example. Like I said, if you forget in, just try to remember the example, inshallah. Or if you are confused between in and inna, remember the examples, inna Allah ma'as sabirin, inshallah, and you will recall the meanings immediately. That's all for today. We stop here. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to fulfill all the rights of the Quran. Subhanallah wa bihamdi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.